Nostradamus, Vanga, Edgar Casey. Names shrouded in mystery and magic. Who were they? True seers or simply lucky guessers? What exactly did these legendary prophets predict, and which of their prophecies have actually come true? Welcome to the Artifacts of Mystery channel. Today, we delve into the predictions of Nostradamus and other great prophets. What has come to pass and what remains a mystery? Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and ring the bell to make sure you don't miss our exciting new videos. The most fascinating content awaits you. Let's go. Nostradamus, prophet, mysterious and mystical. Michel de Nostradamus, better known as Nostradamus, was born in 1503 in the small town of Saint-Rémy-de-Provence in France. From a young age, he showed an interest in astrology and medical sciences, which shaped his future. He later became one of the most famous prophets of all time, whose enigmatic and ambiguous predictions continue to spark heated debates and lively discussions. In 1555, Nostradamus published his famous collection, The Centuries, which contained hundreds of quatrains, each supposedly predicting the future. These texts, written in verse, are filled with vague and ambiguous phrases, allowing for various interpretations and assumptions. Let's examine some of his most famous predictions and try to understand how accurate they were. The Great Fire of London in 1666. One of the most famous and frequently quoted predictions by Nostradamus is associated with the Great Fire of London, which occurred in 1666. Here is a line from The Centuries that many link to this event. The blood of the just will demand fire from London, 6 3 times 20 plus 6. At first glance, these lines may seem like a meaningless jumble of words. However, upon closer inspection, one can see that they indeed may point to the year 1666, the year when London was nearly destroyed by a massive fire. This event became one of the most devastating in the city's history. The fire raged for several days, destroying over 13,000 homes and leaving thousands of people homeless. Many historians and enthusiasts of the mystical consider this prediction to be one of Nostradamus's most accurate. However, skeptics point out that such interpretations may result from hindsight, where events are retrofitted to match known facts. The French Revolution 1889 to 1899. Another famous prediction by Nostradamus is linked to the French Revolution. Here's how he described this event. From the simple people will rise one, who will cast down the mighty and change the fate of the kingdom. These lines are often interpreted as a reference to the uprising of the French peasants and bourgeoisie against the monarchy. The French Revolution, which began in 1789, became one of the most significant events in European history. It led to the overthrow of the royal authority, the execution of King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette, and the establishment of the First French Republic. Many researchers believe that Nostradamus quite accurately described the essence of the revolution, a popular uprising and the downfall of the upper classes. However, this too is not without criticism. Some argue that such general phrases could be applied to any significant social or political upheaval. Rise of Hitler to power 1933. Nostradamus also predicted the emergence of a figure often interpreted as Adolf Hitler. Here's how the lines go. From the depths of Western Europe a child shall be born of poor people, who by his words shall seduce many. His fame shall grow in the kingdom of the East. Many associate these lines with Hitler, who was born in Austria and later became the leader of Nazi Germany. It is particularly notable that Nostradamus uses the name Hister, which sounds very similar to Hitler. Hitler indeed managed to attract many followers with his oratory skills and rise to power in Germany. However, critics point out that such interpretations may be mere coincidences or the result of biased readings. The name Hister could have been simply a fabrication, and the rest of the details may be products of interpreters' imagination. Nostradamus undoubtedly remains one of the most mysterious and mystical figures in history. His predictions, collected in The Centuries, continue to attract attention and spark debates. Some of his prophecies do seem remarkably accurate, while others remain open to various interpretations. Vanga, the prophetess from Bulgaria. Vangelia Pandiva Gushtarova, known worldwide as Vanga, was born in 1911 in a small Bulgarian village called Strumica, which was then part of the Ottoman Empire. The life of this remarkable woman is full of mysteries and mysticism, which continue to captivate the minds and hearts of people around the world. She lost her sight at the age of 12, but claimed that it gave her the ability to see the future. Her predictions still spark debates and lively discussions, as many of them have come true with eerie accuracy. Vanga was born into a poor peasant family and grew up like any ordinary girl until a tragic incident at the age of 12 changed her life forever. A powerful storm lifted Vanga into the air and threw her to the ground, burying her in sand and dust. This event robbed her of her sight, but as Vanga herself claimed, it opened up to her the gift of seeing the future. Rumors of Vanga's unusual abilities quickly spread through the surrounding areas, and people began to flock to her seeking advice and predictions. She became famous not only in Bulgaria, but also beyond its borders. Despite the lack of formal education, Vanga possessed deep knowledge about people and events, which astonishingly came true. Vanga made numerous predictions, but some of them became particularly famous due to their accuracy and scale. The sinking of the Kursk submarine the year 2000. One of Vanga's most well-known predictions is associated with the tragic loss of the Russian submarine Kursk in 2000. Vanga predicted this event long before it occurred. The Kursk will be underwater, and the whole world will mourn it. At first glance, these words may have seemed abstract, but after the tragedy, they gained chilling clarity. The Kursk submarine sank in the Barents Sea on August 12, 2000, claiming the lives of 118 crew members. This event shook the world and sparked immense grief and sympathy. Vanga's prophecy drew even more attention and respect to her, but it also raised questions about how she managed to foresee the future with such accuracy. The September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks. Another famous prediction by Vanga pertained to the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001, in the United States. The American brothers will fall, bitten by iron birds. Wolves will howl in the bushes, and innocent blood will flow. These words are associated with the collapse of the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City, attacked by terrorists who hijacked planes. The phrase iron birds clearly refers to airplanes, and American brothers to the two Twin Towers. This prediction also sends shivers down the spine with its accuracy and mystery. The waves of sorrow and shock that engulfed the world after the attacks confirm Vanga's prophetic words. After Vanga's death in 1996, her name continues to live on in legends and stories. Her predictions are analyzed and studied, and people continue to believe in her gift. Vanga left behind a legacy full of secrets and mysteries that continue to inspire and amaze. Vanga was not just a prophetess, but also a person who left an indelible mark on the hearts of many with her words and actions. Her gift of seeing the future, despite being completely blind, makes her one of the most unique and enigmatic figures in the history of prophecy. Edgar Casey, the Sleeping Prophet. Edgar Casey, also known as the Sleeping Prophet, is one of the most mysterious and unique figures in the history of American mysticism. Born on March 18, 1877, in Beverly, Kentucky, Casey exhibited unusual abilities from childhood, which eventually garnered attention from both ordinary people and scholars. The story of Edgar Casey began in a family of simple farmers. From an early age, he possessed the ability to memorize books by simply placing them under his pillow and absorbing their content while asleep. This unique ability astonished and puzzled his relatives. However, the true potential of his gift emerged later when he began predicting the future and healing people. Edgar Casey made history with his ability to enter deep trances, during which he provided precise and detailed predictions. He claimed that in such a state, he could tap into the collective unconscious and receive information from the Akashic records, the mythical repository of all knowledge and events. World War II. One of Edgar Casey's most well-known predictions concerned World War II. In 1935, long before the war began, Casey warned of an impending global conflict. Soon there will begin a great struggle for power, engulfing all of Europe and the world. He spoke of the war starting in Europe and involving many nations. Casey's prophecies about the threat of global conflict and mass destruction proved chillingly accurate. Stock market crash. Edgar Casey also predicted the stock market crash that led to the Great Depression. In 1925, he warned his clients of an impending financial catastrophe. You must be cautious in your investments. In the next few years, there will be a significant downturn that will shake the economy. When the stock market crashed in 1929, triggering the most severe economic depression in the United States of America, Casey's prediction was validated. Many of his followers claim that thanks to his warnings, they were able to avoid financial losses. One of the most significant aspects of Edgar Casey's work was his healing sessions. During trances, he diagnosed illnesses and offered treatment methods, which were often unconventional but effective. He helped people suffering from various ailments, and his treatment advice included diets, herbs, hydrotherapy, and other alternative methods. The secrets of Atlantis and ancient Egypt. Edgar Casey is also known for his predictions about ancient civilizations such as Atlantis and ancient Egypt. He claimed that many of his patients had past lives in these civilizations and provided astonishing details about their culture and history. Casey predicted that remnants of Atlantis would be found off the coast of Bimini, the Bahamas, and in 1968, underwater structures resembling roads or walls were discovered, lending credence to the prediction. Edgar Casey left behind a vast legacy. In 1931, he founded the Association for Research and Enlightenment in Virginia Beach, Virginia, which still exists today. The Casey archives contain over 14,000 records of his readings, many of which deal with health, spirituality, and past lives. Edgar Casey, the sleeping prophet, remains one of the most intriguing and enigmatic figures in the history of mysticism. Joan of Arc, Saint and Prophetess. Joan of Arc, one of the most vivid and enigmatic figures in French history, not only became a symbol of national resistance, but also claimed to possess the gift of prophecy. Born in 1412 in the small village of Domremy, Joan grew up in a peasant family, but her destiny was predetermined on a much higher level. She claimed to hear voices of saints who predicted her future and guided her actions. Joan of Arc was born into a family of simple peasants, but was exceptional from childhood. At the age of 13, she began to hear the voices of saints, Saint Michael, Saint Catherine, and Saint Margaret, who gave her instructions and prophecies. These visions became an integral part of her life and influenced her future actions. The voices predicted her great destiny and mission to save France from the English. In 1429, when France was in deep crisis due to the 100 Years' War, Joan, obeying the voices, went to Dauphin Charles, the heir to the French throne, to persuade him of her mission. The Dauphin, astonished by her conviction and spiritual strength, granted her an army. Armed not only with a sword but also with prophecies, Joan became a symbol of French resistance. Joan of Arc led the French army to several key victories, which many attribute to her visions and prophecies. The liberation of Orleans. One of Joan of Arc's most famous prophecies was the liberation of Orleans. The city was under siege by the English, and its fall could have been catastrophic for France. Joan predicted that she would liberate the city, and her prophecy came true. In May 1429, leading the French forces, she managed to break the siege and free Orleans. This became a turning point in the 100 Years' War and inspired the French to further victories. The coronation of Charles VII. Another important prophecy by Joan concerned the coronation of the Dauphin Charles. She declared that she would lead him to Reims, where he would be crowned King of France. This seemed unlikely, as Reims was deep within territory controlled by the English. However, Joan once again proved the validity of her prophecies. In July 1429, Charles VII was crowned in Reims, solidifying his legitimacy and inspiring the French to continue the fight. Unfortunately, Joan's fate was tragic. In 1430, she was captured by the Burgundians, allies of the English, and handed over to them. Her trial was politically motivated, and she was accused of heresy and witchcraft. At the trial, Joan again stated that she acted under divine guidance and prophecy. However, her words could not save her from a cruel fate. On May 30, 1431, she was burned at the stake in Rouen. Her last words were directed to the Lord, and she remained faithful to her beliefs until the end. After her death, Joan of Arc became a national heroine and a symbol of French patriotism. In 1456, 25 years after her execution, a retrial was held, in which she was rehabilitated and declared innocent. In 1920, the Catholic Church canonized Joan, recognizing her as a saint. The predictions of Nostradamus, Vanga, and other great prophets continue to amaze and puzzle us. Some of their prophecies seem incredibly accurate, while others remain mysterious and open to interpretation. Belief in prophecies depends on our desire to find answers to eternal questions about the future. Regardless of whether we believe in prophecies or not, the stories of these prophets continue to inspire and intrigue minds around the world.